Hey, folks. We're gonna get started here in a minute. Just taking care of a few background things. Hey, Tomei, how's it going? I am the ghost with the most. Most what? I don't know. Maybe it's toast. Alright. Not sticking around in this loading screen too long. We're actually going to be jumping right into the area. So, where am I? There I am. I should be slightly to the left. There we go. Most fun streams. I appreciate that. Let's see. So, we won't unfortunately be finishing Snooty Lady because unfortunately I misplaced her base. I'm hoping it didn't get thrown out. So, unfortunately we can't finish her. We will likely be doing the quick washing of this guy. He's technically finished, but he does need washing. And I figured once we finished Mr. Orc, we'd just wash them both. And then I got a pile over here of other potentials. Definitely we're going to start on Mr. Barbarian, because we're going to be doing a lot of leather colors. And we might as well, you know, take care of two things with Thunderstone. I might do the Monitor here as well, because again, doing a lot of leather colors. We also got basically a Slod. So I was curious as to what washing entailed with finger painting. So I don't know. So this guy has been through a wash. And what you can see is he's got like a little bit of dark. I don't know how much you can see. Come on, refocus. But he's a bit darker than he was when we were playing with him before. And what it involves with is you use a bit of paint of a darker color than the rest of your paint. And you get it very thin by watering it out. And then you pour that over your figure. And what that does is it makes the paint just sort of flow off all of the top areas of the figure and pool in the little divots and little, nooks and crannies. And what it does is because it does that, it gives it a bit of a shadow look that you couldn't really get and makes those details stand out. But also because it's thin, it won't actually cover up the color underneath it. It will just shade it darker. So that's what a wash does. So it's basically just a quick and easy way to make your figures have a little bit of depth to them that they wouldn't have with flat paints without going through all the effort of shading. Because you can make very impressive minis by, doing a base color, like doing a green here, and then adding some darkness to that and painting a darker green in the little nooks and crannies, and then painting a lighter green at the top and give it a very fancy shadow look that really looks like, gee, this is actually almost real lighting. I mean, it's in real lighting, but real lighting for the scale it would be at in the real world. If it weren't at 1/120th scale, there would be a lot more darkness under the armpits or whatever, if you get what I'm saying. So if you really want to make a mini look super nice, that's what you do. But if you're looking for practical and quick, you do a base coat. You do a wash, and if you're really in a like want it to stand out just a little bit, then you do a highlight. Dry brushing, in particular, is the method that's best used for that. And what dry brushing is you basically wipe away most of the paint and then use what the dry remnants of it. Actually, speaking of, I do not have any paper towels here. I forgot paper towels, so I'm going to go grab some paper towels real quick. Be back in 1 second. All right, I have returned victoriously with paper towels. In fact, we can move our mouse here because it's generally more important to have the paper towels accessible than it is to have the mouse accessible. Say that, and then I need to do stuff with the mouse. I think everything is in order. Oh, I'm not there. I'm like, something's wrong here. Oh, it's because I'm not here. Couldn't quite put my finger on what was wrong. All right. Let's see at our art guy, because he's what we're probably going to be finishing tonight. It looks like we got the gold, the bone, all the silver and stuff. The armor done. It looks like we need hair, which I feel like is a slick black hair. I feel like, I don't know how much you can see, but it's kind of a sort of 80s slick black hair. Slick back. Slicked back hair. And then we got some wood back here we have to paint. So mostly browns dealing with this guy. Oh yeah, it looks like he has, yeah, he's got a lot of belt leather too that we haven't touched. So yeah, mostly browns. So we need some brown colors. We got a couple here. We got harvest brown. We got, oh, that's dragon red. We got, that's dragon gold. We got leather brown. We got heartwood brown. Woodland brown. And then there is specifically a rotting wood color. And I want to use his, so we're going to do the back of his shield as this rotting wood. So very dark wood color that kind of has a bit of green in it as well. So let's see what we got. Harvest brown, leather brown, heartwood brown. So if I remember, leather brown is more like a suede brown. And let's go ahead and get the, shake this up. Hopefully it just comes out smoothly, but I doubt it because it's been sitting here for so long. Oh, hey. Came out pretty easily. Whoop, cat hair. Yeah, that's a good sickly looking brown there. Just joining, what base is the paint? Water or oil? This is actually acrylic. So I'm pretty sure it's acrylic at least. So it's got some water on it. And then we use the water to get it, like, you can see where it's like pooling there. Yeah, model paint. Yeah, because we're painting miniatures, basically. Let me show you some of the ones we've done already. We got here our barbarian dude. Is supposed to autofocus, but... Oh, yeah? Do you? I didn't know that. What type of minis do you like to paint, Tokies? This one's near complete, but needs washed. So I don't know. I assume acrylic is not oils. I don't believe. I don't know what is acrylic. Isn't it like this made of the same stuff as like nail polish? I honestly never looked it up. Mostly my brother's cast off when he's done with the resin printer. Acrylic is water-based. Okay, I didn't know. When he's testing his resin printer. I want a resin printer. I would really like one. But I also get really paranoid about fumes and stuff and chemicals. So I get freaked out. I was getting freaked out even with the one I bought a long time ago that turned out to be crap. And that was PLA. So I'm kind of afraid to buy a I feel like I would be very safe with it, but I get paranoid. Silicone oils, defoamers, or metal soaps. Okay, I don't know what I mean, I sort of know what that means, but silicone oils, defoamers, or metal soaps. Okay, I don't know. But mainly we're doing this orc guy right now. And I've actually done most of him. But I want to get he's got some leather straps and stuff here that you can sort of see that we need to paint. And also he has this back of his shield. I don't know if I can get a good angle on that. Here is wood. And I was going to paint it this sort of, I get the feeling this is very much a guy who's like picked up most of it, because you see his armor doesn't exactly fit him. So he's kind of like a guy, the idea I was coming up with him was he's like a mercenary, and a very professional one at that. But because he's an orc, and that's why he has this slick back 80s hair, but because he's an orc operating in human lands, he can't really get good equipment for himself. So he kind of cobbles things together from humans that he's killed in battle. And just sort of works that way. And so, of course, it's very hard for him to get new equipment. So the wood he's kind of dealing with is kind of old and decrepit. His shield's probably going to go at any minute, but it's not like he has many other options. Not like he's not a tough customer. Yeah, exactly. I reworked my home mic setup, but I'm not sure if it's very good for doing this. It's kind of in the way. Let me try doing this. I'm painting it this, I can hear you great. I'm watching my phone on work, at work. Oh, I really appreciate it. I mean, thank you. I didn't expect you to do that. Hopefully it's entertaining. Yeah, so just painting here. This is gonna probably need a couple coats from the way it's acting. Not really sticking very well. But I'm not that concerned about it. Because it's not like we're gonna use this for anything else. Yeah, we were actually on Scuffle Shuffle together, and Toki's is a really funny girl. I thought she was hilarious anyways. But if you want to, let me actually shout you out. Just because I liked your stuff. Yeah, with him scavenging, yeah, it makes sense. I understand, oh, is the bot not working? Alright, let's try the new... I should have checked the bot, but I didn't. Let's try the new shout out command. There we go. Alright. Let's let that sit for a second. I don't know if you can see it, but I have this little thing here that I bought at a con. But what it's basically useful for is wiping off your brushes quickly of various paints. And I like it a lot, and if it ever went up in a fire, I'd be very disappointed and wish and want to find out how the heck to replace it because I have no idea. Yeah, I feel like a harvest brown is what we use mostly for darker leather. Hmm. Doesn't feel like that's pooling properly, but whatever. I wonder if the game shop that sells the paints would have one. I use a glass jar with a piece of mesh to scrub the brushes. I've never seen it in a game shop. I bought it at a con from a vendor who also gave me this thing that I'm not actually using, which is like you screw a bottle cap onto it, and then you can kind of have it turn without touching. And it's pretty nice, but at the moment, I find just having the bottle cap to hold on to is usually enough. So it kind of obsoleted itself. All right, this is going to be a little more slow. All right, yeah, I'm going to have to adjust this setup somewhat because I'm going to. Because I need to lean over the desk. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I need to be able to lean. And I'm going to have to look forward. There we go. Just happy little accidents, right? We change something up, and now we need to make adjustments to what we're doing. Make it work. I don't know why I'm doing this with my medium. I should not be doing this with my medium brush. I should be using my small, tiny brush. My itty bitty brush. Alright, that's actually like looking right now. Itty bitty brush. Making little strokes. So we don't have to do as many touches ups. Gotta touch it up. If you mess it up. So don't mess it up if you don't want to touch it. Their mini brush, as it were? No, that's absurd. They have a scientific name for it. Tiny brush. I won't hear any other descriptor used for it. Get out of my chat. Prescriptivist scum. Or descriptivist scum. Whichever one is the one that believes language doesn't evolve or whatever. Okay, .jpeg. Weenie Dinky. Tinky. And Clyde. Very tight there. All right. I wish I had more to talk about right now, but I'm kind of concentrating on not fucking this up. I don't know if you can see, but it's quite small, the items I'm working with. There we go. I gotta focus. Super concentrate. Bumpy Bay mode. That seems like a good superpower. I activate Bumpy Brain mode. Da 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 da. With the power of my brain, I will defeat you. What's 9 times 117? I'd have to sit down with a piece of paper and Jello. I would have to sit down with a piece of a set of numbers. I'd have to sit down and actually calculate that out. I can't take the high ground. All right, I can be a little more free on this little pouch here. Math was never my. So I was homeschooled. I didn't actually go through what you'd call mainstream math. I got to about algebra 2, I want to say, and then stopped being interested. And since it was a credits-based system, I didn't actually have to do any more than that. And same homeschooling, and now that I'm in college, it's like I'm dumb. My feeling is I'll be honest, I don't think homeschooling was the right choice for me. But not worth relitigating things that already happened. Best just to pick it up and brush it off and try to get things together from where you're at. Look back to figure out what went wrong, but don't fret about it. You're just gonna turn yourself into a pretzel, worrying about what you could have done, which you can't do anything about. Retrospective examination of your life is only useful in so far as it informs your decisions in the now and doesn't make you repeat mistakes. So yeah, don't think of it as I feel dumb now. Think of it as pretty much go for it, and in my case, pay a tutor for math and chemistry. Yeah, pretty much. I expect at the current moment, I never actually went to college, but I'm making very decent money nowadays. So I don't know if it's worth going to college right now, other than for the life experience. Which, considering how much it costs, I don't even know if it's worth it for the life experience.
college isn't for everyone. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly like it just feels like it. I'm past the point where it make a difference in my career. So I'm just trying not to fret about it too much. I'm going for registered nursing, but won't let me give meds without stupid school. I mean, I know plenty of RNs. They're nice people, a little overworked and probably underpaid, but it's a decent living. Like compared to a lot of truly shit jobs, it's not bad. All right. Actually, I don't really feel like we have to do much more. Perhaps going back there and it's kind of wrapping around his belly. The question is, I felt like at the time this was. Yeah, I think that is more belt, or at least I'm going to interpret it as more belt here on the back, because I feel like that makes it stand out a bit more. And more importantly, means I don't have to get out colors that I was already dealing with to touch it up. Yeah, so yeah, registered. I don't have any family in the. Or I have some friends who are in nursing. Um, and the main thing is it makes it hard for them to get out. Especially if they already have kids. Like it tends to be favor night and weekend work a little bit. That's where the big bucks are, anyways. I'm pretty happy with that. I currently work in the exciting field of databases and data engineering and some programming and some admin and basically whatever I have to do that needs done at my job. I work for charity, so it's wear many hats. I should say I work for a charity, not that I work for charity. I'm in it for the money. Make that if that makes me cool and capricious, whatever. I've been poor. I'm not eager to go back to doing that. I mostly just don't want to have anyone to have any delusions about my moral superiority for doing my work. Yeah. Like I get people who go like, I work for charity. I get like it's their life mission or whatever. It's like, I've seen how this works. And I know you get a fucking corner office, dude. You're not feeling hardships. I like how this this rotted wood is coming out on the back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's supposed to be an autofocus camera that I paid money for because it said it was autofocus. It sort of focuses. I guess I have to buy like a whole... Oh, hey. That's really good. Now, let me... There we go. You can sort of see it there. The lighting isn't great for it. Green really props it. Yeah. A little bit of green in there makes it kind of come out. You need to put your hand behind whatever it is to make it work. That might be it. Because it seemed like it was when I had it at the angle. What do makeup gurus do? I don't really follow makeup gurus. Oh, my, hold the items with their hands behind it. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna need another. I'm probably gonna have to do touch-ups here on the shield and on the body. I didn't want to have to do touch-ups. I wanted it to be easy and without any complications. And that's what always happens when you work on these kind of things. It always just goes off without a hitch. Everything just slides into place. You never have to do any touch-ups. All right. What else do we got? All right. There we go. Get this a little bit more. Touch there, touch there. I'm not going to bother doing the last one, that buckle. Not worth it, in my opinion. All right. Yeah, so we're just going to need a little silver to get the back of the shield, because it kind of got some oh yeah, that does it. It looks like it might need another one final coat of the dead wood. And then I need to also lurking while I do rounds. Can hear you still. Okay. Yeah. Have fun. Yeah. So I think that's going to need another coat, and I think we're going to need to do a little bit of touching up. I don't want to wait on that. And we're going to work on Oh, what happened to you? Where'd you get that? Oh yeah, that makes such a huge difference. Thank you for that. Um, he's got a little bit of something on him. I don't know where he got that. I certainly didn't do it. But we can start working on him and see, is there anybody else who has their straps? She kind of has some. And of course we have Giant Lady here. We could do a lot with, but I kind of want to save her for a single stream. Let's just... Okay, so what I'm going to do is... I'm going to... So that's padding in there, so that's cloth. We got fur here and fur trim on the bottoms. And fur. So what we're probably going to do is do these outer areas as dark leather. And I gotta figure out about this lion head. Whether we want to make it look legit or maybe like a like a gold icon or a silver one. I'm not sure. Let's see. Paint, paint, paint. Gotta paint. Gotta paint. Gotta paint. Gotta paint. Gotta paint. Oh, I didn't put any music on, did I? I forgot. I forgore. I don't know if I want to paint that color. I'll leave it there. Alright. Just got overzealous. Let's get some music. I could use some music. Oh. I think I just closed the browser. Yep, welcome back, chat. I accidentally closed you. Sorry about that. Get some simple... Get that small step for man! Lo-fi nonsense background so I can have a little bit of noise as I work. Don't want it too loud. How could you? Could I close chat? Very accidentally. You got some nice piano in this one. I'm a sucker for nice piano. What's your favorite piano song that heavily favors piano, chat? That's a tough question. Yeah, I was hoping to distract you. Should I make an easier question like, if you could pick between fighting a wolf or a lion, which would you pick? That's an easy question, right? Touch up back here. And I'm wondering if we want to do this. I feel like this is like... Okay, that's actually the cape getting swept back. So that should be like a suede leather. The interior. Both, they'll fight each other and I can get away. Fair enough. Alright. In the classic dinosaur matchup, Triceratops versus T-Rex, even though I'm pretty sure they lived in entirely different eras, which would win? Because I feel like Tyrannosaur. I feel like Tyrannosaur would do it. Because it can come up and from behind. So it can get around the shield. The only problem is it might get stabbed during it. I don't know, I'm just coming up with silly scenarios. Didn't really play anything yesterday. I thought about playing some stuff. I didn't even play Splatoon. I was just kind of tired. Got done enough. I'll probably finish painting the back here of this. And then finally do some touch-ups. And then he'll be ready for a wash. And we can wash him and the other guy at the same time. Oh, he have to get his hair too. Forgot. I mean, like, there's no other choice but slick back 80s guy hair for this guy. He's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's about. Maybe in the wash this will help. Because what I'm seeing is these areas where the paint isn't quite permeating into because it's not quite thin enough. I guess I could thin it out more, but I think a wash will just help with that. I think I'm worrying too much. Oh, and I also got to get the front here. I missed that entirely. Crap. Because it's kind of peeling back. Exposing the boards underneath. I just completely missed that. If some of the if you believe some of the Jurassic World War, they've made a Triceratops Rex. I didn't watch Jurassic World. I haven't watched any of the Jurassic Worlds. Kind of deliberately. I'm sure Chris Pratt plays a very lovely Chris Pratt in it. But I was feeling a bit Chris Pratted out before everybody else got tired of him. Seems like a nice dude, funny dude, but in fucking everything. Mostly in the evolution games, which I enjoy. I remember wanting that, really wanting that one Jurassic Park game with like the island where you were a girl and if your health was looking down at your tits and seeing your tattoo. Very mature game, I'm sure. Apparently it was very awful, but as a kid I really wanted it, but it was like I think it was PC only or something. And it was higher spec than I could get. I don't know. The Jurassic Park franchise, like even the books, when it went completely off the rails after the first one. Stick around. We want like a dark hair color, but not like a complete black. Just dropping shit. Carbon gray should work. Maybe we can use this for some of the fur. Just to be economical. We'll see how it looks. Licensed games are very hit and miss, especially back in the day. I remember playing the last World one. And that was very bad on the PlayStation. I remember the Mega Drive. Mega Drive Jurassic Park game wasn't too bad. It wasn't like great, but it wasn't like heinous. Yeah, let's get that slick back 80s guy haircut. A little too much paint there, so let's spread it around best we can. Tonight, you dine in hell. Oh, that reminds me. I never did play Warcraft Adventures. Is it Blackmore? What's the noble's name? Tonight, Blackmore, you dine in hell. Jurassic World Evolution games are kind of like park management games. I don't know. I have a soft spot for things like that. Frostpunk being the cruelest example. I did try Frostpunk. Because I was thinking it was like I like 4X games. So I was wondering if it was a little bit more like that. And no, I guess it's more like your park management stuff. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't for me, though. I didn't feel like... I can get it if you enjoyed it, though. Like, I got... It has very much the flavor, the things I want out of it, which is, like, demanding my complete attention so that I have to focus on it, and I feel like games like that are great for when you're in a depressive episode. Especially, like, I tend to play Stellaris when I'm feeling depressed. Because you can't think. You've got to focus everything on the game because there's too much for you to possibly handle going on. So, they get you in the zone, and if you're in a position where we're talking like park management and 4X, I think, is what we're kind of talking about. I don't know. The last RTS split game I played was StarCraft 2. And I was a big StarCraft nerd back in the day. And I did not like StarCraft 2. And that kind of ended RTS games for me. Age of Empires 2 is my go-to comfort games by myself. The Age of Empires series, I didn't get those, so I never got to play them and really get into them. Back when I was a kid, my games budget was very, very limited. I didn't get to try many games. I've heard a lot of good about them. I just don't think to check them out because I'm kind of like checked out on RTSs. I've kind of wanted to play the Crusader Kings game though, as far as medieval stuff. I think that'd be interesting to play. That's a little more 4X though. You have 6 brothers, so I got their leftovers. Jeez. He was Frostpunk. I want a game that can kick my ass, but I have fun with it. Yeah, I can see that. I tend to do that with like roguelikes. Let's see, what roguelikes do I like? I've been more recently doing like actual rogues, like based on the original Rogue, except with actual graphics, you know. So I was doing like Rogue Fable 2 and Dungeons of Dreadmore. It helps they are fairly cheap. Of course, Receiver. I was playing that a little bit on stream one day. Hades is pretty good. I didn't actually like everybody loved the game before that from them, Bastion. And I liked the music and the story well enough, but the gameplay didn't really jibe with me. So I wasn't expecting to like Hades. I don't have a problem any theme park management game I buy it, good or bad. So yeah, I was and the other one they did, Transistor, I think it was a little bit more mixed reception. And I personally didn't like it much at all. I mean, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was amazing though. It had some nice art, let's put it that way. And the music was good, but like gameplay wise it wasn't good, and the story was kind of weird in a kind of unhealthy way. I don't know. I get that the nerd being the bad guy was a good thing, but I don't know. The ending kind of put me off. Let's put it that way. I want to steal it. No, that's not it. It's what is it we used? I don't even know what that is. Pure black. Dusky skin. I had these all organized at one point, and then got it stone. Filigree silver. Blade steel. So it must be honed steel that I was using. That's not it. Blade steel. Honed steel. Where's honed steel? Where'd you wander off on me? There you are. Yeah. I mean, I guess I got my money worth out of Transistor, but yeah, I never liked the sort of 3/4 perspective for action games, so I was surprised I liked Hades. Oh yeah, I was talking roguelikes. I think, what are the roguelikes? Dead Cells I played for a little while, it was good. But I can't say it's something I will go back to anytime soon. Oh, 30XX and 20XX I loved. Because they were basically Mega Man roguelikes. Apparently Mega Man X has done its own thing with that. That's like a pay to not quite pay to win, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Like they have you know, you buy cosmetics and stuff. Gotcha. It's like a gotcha game. But I'll be honest, I haven't been super interested into it because I'm like, well, honestly, Mega Man in general is kind of tainted these days. It has been for a while, but I mean, I'm not the one who I'm not like a Inafune fanboy or anything. But there was definitely a point where the series quality just started to... Yeah, gotcha. Alright, you didn't like Lady Number 9? Man, I am so glad I didn't invest in that Kickstarter. Why did I get burnt on that? There was something I got burnt on that I... Oh, it was Starbound. I bought Starbound through the Kickstarter. And I'm sure it's fine now, but after, like, in beta it was really good and had a lot of interesting ideas, and it was obviously incomplete, but it had some interesting ideas. And they cut out all the good ideas and made a even worse Terraria. So that was when I was like, okay, I'm not buying anything unless I know what the finished product is anymore. This system seemed promising, but it quickly turned into some real nonsense. Forgot Starbound exists most of the time. I mean, fair. That's probably the reaction you should have to Starbound at this point. Honestly, I forget it exists most of the time. It just happens that when I remember why I stopped doing Kickstarters, I have to remember Starbound. I mean, I still do some Kickstarters, but it's stuff I really believe in, or like an author I really know, or a, you know, or a company that's delivered good products in the past. Not gonna do it for any schmuck. And there was this really weird rush around Kickstarters. I haven't really been burned by Mighty Number 9, but even then, an okay game from it. So it's kind of whatever at this point. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I didn't play Mighty Number 9. I was like, oh, well, I'm glad they're doing something interesting instead of just, you know, packing up and saying whatever, and I'll keep an eye on this. And then it came out and it was like, oh, it's really bad. Alright, I can never get topped these kind of things. I don't know what it is, but just don't want to stay. Covered. But he's just about done. Let's focus on Mr. Kind of want to use Wolf Gray for this. Let's try some of this carbon black on this back here. I guess I would say I'm less mad that Mighty Number 9 exists than I am more sad that we never got a Maverick Hunter X2. Two 0.5. I did recently do 2.5 projects looking forward to. So Penny Blood plus Arm Fantasia, Shadow Hearts and Wild Arms spiritual successors, and a game by Soji Meguro of Persona Shin Megami Tensei fame, named Guns and Darkness. I say 2.5 because Penny/Armed was a double Kickstarter. Okay. I've mostly kept my Kickstarters to tabletop RPGs, so I did the Matt Colville Kickstarters, and then I have the Darkest Dungeon Kickstarter, board game Kickstarter that's supposedly going to start sending out this year. Honestly, I like how that carbon gray kind of turned out. I mean, it's not perfect because it's not covering the thing, but it's got a nice color to it, I feel. All right. What else do we got going on? I wonder if I should do that carbon gray on shoes as well, or if I should do like a more light color on those. I'm feeling like the question is he a northern warrior or not? Because it seems like a lion would be for something that's want to get through the 3 Shadow Hearts games again sometime. That's gonna take some effort. My feeling is this is like a northern guy. Yeah, lion seems like temperate climates. But then this is also heavy furs, which you usually don't do in anything but northern climates. In temperate climates, you tend to scrape off the fur because you want to cure the hide and leave as little insulation as possible. You want some insulation, but you want it to keep the sun out rather than keep your heat in. Well, what I'd say is most of this is wolf hide, is my opinion here. So this and this is wolf hide, because he's not going to have lions, and lions aren't going to produce much thing. So this is more likely going to be like, even if we're assuming, well, he would have to be from the north because creatures from temperate climates don't have this heavy fur. So it has to be northern. So, but I feel like these boots need to be a lighter color. Just instinctually, I think lighter color for those boots. So we're not gonna paint those just yet. We get the leather brown here. Well, I was mostly just stopping and trying to think critically about it to figure out, because I feel like part of painting is figuring out the character and what their deal is. But that's just me. Because while you might use them just as a generic unit, I feel like personalizing them while you're painting, at least to me, it makes it feel easier to, I don't know, feel like you're not just wasting time. It's quite dry, so I don't need to worry about giving the characters character. Exactly. And then, of course, I can use... Oh, that was what I was going to talk about. Oh, but I can't talk about it because one of my players says they're listening. I was going to talk about my Call of Cthulhu campaign, but we're doing I do a annual Halloween one shot every year, and the first year was Dungeons and Dragons. I think I told you guys a story where it was literally a it was literally the Hotel California song as a dungeon. And then the second year, I had picked up Call of Cthulhu, despite my players' best efforts to keep me from it. So I ran Call of Cthulhu, and I ran one of the adventures that came with it. I don't even remember much about it. Oh yeah, it was like an insane asylum, and they were summoning some sort of great beast. And my players spoiled the plot, but they also got themselves killed. So then the next year after that... God, it's been 5 years of these already? I didn't think about it. The next year after that... I'm trying to remember. There was Tikoi, and then there was... something else historical. I don't know, I'm blanking on it now. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Well, when I remember that one, I'll tell you about it. But then last year I did one where they went out to the Tikoi testing range, which is where they tested the engines for ICBMs. And they were like hired to figure out what was going on there. And there was like a hidden underground facility that nobody knew about, where they were testing like interdimensional travel. And they'd like fired it off, and everything went wrong. And it was fun, like having half a real location, and then it sort of distorting into this liminal space where everything didn't quite work right, and everything didn't add up. And then they shut off the engine, but then later died of cancer because it was extremely cancerous. Generally, you don't really survive my Cthulhu campaigns. You just kind of save the day. If you can. Oh, what was it that... Frick, I can't remember. There was another one that I did. They're usually based on periods of history I'm interested in. So what was I obsessing about back then? Oh, right. That rocket fuel. Well, it was more like the traveling through space multiple dimensions and its carcinogens. Heavy radioactive isotopes and all that was the idea. Now I remember. It was the Russian Revolution. And I was studying about the Russian Revolution. And I found out, and I thought this was hilarious, that SeaWorld was actually made by a guy whose family, a noble whose family fled the Russian Revolution and took all their money and moved to the US. And I just thought that was hilarious. And I thought about, well, hey, SeaWorld is really, you know, fucked up. And I also discovered this album by the guys who were Tally Hall, or formerly, called Hawaii Part 2. And I'm like, okay, I want to make a weird concept based around this this album as the backdrop. It was to create SeaWorld, aka Capitalism World. I mean, I didn't say it, you did. But, yeah, no kidding. Like, you know, a lot of the major companies, like DuPont, whatever, you can tell, if you look back at them, it's like, oh, well, these people fled to the US after getting kicked out of their country. And they took all their money with them. And then they founded this. Aircraft Gray. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Wolf Gray. Where was Wolf Gray? Home steel, rotting wood, solid black, cloudy gray, bleached linen, ancient bark, dirty bone, foggy gray. I know there's a wolf gray. Silver, dusky skin. I appreciate the paint color names for being descriptive. They are very nice. Ah, here it is. Wolf Gray. So, in this Cthulhu game, the concept was the party were hired by this lady who was this guy's wife who had invented not SeaWorld. And the park had been mysteriously shut down. And he was no longer, he had gone there and disappeared. And it was involved with this weird science guy who was like buying the park or whatever. And then the party went to the SeaWorld location. And I got a bunch of creepy pictures of abandoned like amusement parks. Or abandoned aquariums, and like every area they went into was like an abandoned aquarium part, And it's partially based off of the one I want to say in Chicago. I actually mapped out the entire area. Like there was like the main building, and then like 2 tanks, and then like a lighthouse kind of area slash like underwater, where you go underwater and there's I like to have my Halloween games be kind of special. And so basically they had actually been working on time travel in this building. I'd set up a lab underneath that. That lighthouse. And we're pulling things out of the past. And like I found all these animals from the Deversonian era and like had them in the actual aquarium. Had like, they were just doing it to try to find new novelties for this well, it was also research, but what they were using it for was novelties for the park at the moment. And so there were all these old creepy looking animals that don't actually exist anymore. And but what happened was, of course, in Cthulhu, if you go back far enough, you get the Elder Things, who do go extinct, but are aware they are going extinct and are not happy about it, and tend to try to find ways to get out of it, or end up interacting and getting out in the present day. So they go back in the past and they accidentally pull out an Elder Thing, and it takes over the entire operation and sort of brainwashes everybody, and then mutates some of the creatures. So one of the things I liked was there was like a dolphin with prehensile legs attached to it. Stuff like that. Stuff that were like, if you think about it, it's kind of just weird, but is really creepy if you're just, like you're seeing it for the first time. Yeah, so this one, without giving too much away, because I know my freaking one of my roommates might be listening in, is set in late 1910s, early 1920s West Virginia, just before the miners' strikes, the mass Battle of Blair Mountain. In Mingo County, in the town of, I don't remember. I'm being less subtle. I like it in the one I did before. I used aliases for the people who I created that were clearly based on historical figures. But then I realized none of these are actually ever going to be released, so I don't need to worry about all that bullshit. It's just for my personal, game table. So I'm just going to use like Sid Hatfield and shit like that. If I ever had to actually publish it, I'd of course like change up the characters a bit and have it be in a fictional county next door to Mingo County and stuff like that, but I actually want to go to the West Virginia Mine Wars Museum, but I haven't found a time good to go do that. That's actually, I want to go to the Cryptid Museum too, the one for the Mothman. But that's also a long trip. I mostly just want to see the Mothman statue in person. Paint, paint, paint. Yeah, so actually I'm probably going to be working on that most of tomorrow. I think I can safely say without getting too much away, I definitely downloaded a bunch of pictures of creepy mines. I think they can safely surmise that if they're going to be working in a mining town, they might go into a mine at some point. And I was actually looking up the history of the guy who ran the stone company, and like he walked out of he like literally walked out of a Cthulhu book because he's like he had an amazing interest in rare books and had a library of like 5,000, and I'm like presumably including the Necronomicon by the Alice Alf Hazard or whatever the name goes. Purpose built, it seems. What I'd say is they're very much based on the intellectuals of his time. So it kind of makes sense that an intellectual businessman of his time would fit the bill pretty easily. I've been listening to Cthulhu, or books on tapes of his to fall asleep recently, because I tend to try to get into the mood. Although cosmic horror doesn't tend to actually scare me that much. And again, not much does anymore. Let's see, what still scares me? Gray aliens. Being out alone at night in a weird location I've never been, kinda. Getting stabbed would not be pleasant, I don't think. Never been mugged, but I got damn close once in New Orleans. I think I would have been if I hadn't just kept walking. Oh, I'm scared of bridges over water. Those freak me out a lot. Actually, bridges in general kind of scare me. It's because I know how bad, like, in disrepair they all are. So it feels like a gamble. Alright, we want to get some flesh color here. Wondering if I should just... something I'm gonna try. It's kind of brushing the top areas. So it kind of covers up those whites that the carbon gray won't sit in, but it still has the black in there, so it gets to kind of a... like a matted fur kind of, you know, like the fur, how it... you know how on, like, wolves, sometimes they'll have dark fur underneath and it kind of comes up white at the top? That's what I'm trying to go for. Kind of an opposite. Alright. We probably want some barbarian skin. I think that lion's gonna end up being made of like gold or something or silver. I feel like it's a symbol more than anything, rather than an actual lion head. Alright, that was way more than we needed. Or medium brush for this. Should probably paint his nipples, but I'm not going to because I do not trust myself to actually do something that small. But he does has nipples. I don't know if you can see them, but he does have them. I don't think you can really see them. They're very small. I think he has some kind of collar on here as well. Alright, get his arms. Starting to look like somebody now. Not just a blob of gray. I had to do a double tick there because I almost... There's the leather color there, and then there's the flesh color there, and it's too close. I'm afraid of dipping into the wrong one. Alright, so he does have some silver pauldrons there on his hands. Or not pauldrons, but gloves. Bracers. I remembered the word eventually. legs. Barda Barbarian. Oh, I wonder if that's where Bara comes from. I don't know if it's a loan word or not. I never actually looked it up. But that's plausible. Because it's usually referring to very hulky, muscular men. Which is the classic Western ideal of a barbarian. Oh, I'm going to look that up after the stream. Something I honestly never thought about. But it has to be have an interesting answer. I heard somebody say something, but I guess it was just the other ghost. Or more likely it was the music and I just didn't hear what the music. I feel like catch this up real quick. Mostly fine. Barely on that side that it needs touched up. Almost dried up. Yeah, that's all dry. All right. When I tend to think, so Vikings tends to be sort of a play off of, or barbarians tend to be played off of Viking stereotypes. And when I think of Vikings, I don't think gold, I think silver. Because that was what was mostly available at the time. And let's give him some silver. And it's going to be silver, and then his armbands are going to be silver. Can't tell what that's supposed to be in that corner there, so I'm just going to paint it that leather brown. His silver bands. And then these hands are flesh colored. There we go. Crap. Alright. I don't think it got anything on it. All right. I'm mostly pretty happy with this. Now we just need hair. You know. His hair. Looks like there's touch-ups to be made on his chin. And a few other places. His body. I'm not going to worry too much about his necklace. Not going to be very visible. I guess I could paint it silver if I really wanted to, but I don't really care all that much. Oh. So I will be doing an endurance stream Halloween Day. Basically, I'm going to set it for 4 o'clock. I'm likely going to be back by 2 or 3. But I'm probably going to need to get myself sorted, and then we'll be going till about like 1 in the morning. Still haven't decided all of what I'm going to do, but I have a few neat things that are now complete that will be shown off there. Yeah, and it'll be interesting. We're gonna have some fun. I need to work on some promotional material for it, but let's look at some of these things, see if we can find something that we want. I'm thinking like a dirty blonde hair color. I don't even know if I have one shadow, dark highlights. Hardwood brown. I did this last time. Dragon gold. I think I used a more clear yellow and then kind of muddied it. What I could do is use one of the colors I'm not going to use anymore. Like maybe darken it up. So like this. Let's mix it with this and see what it comes out as. And see if it'll work for our dirty blonde look. That's a little too dark for what I'm going for. Let's try it in the opposite direction. Take this leather brown here. and get some yellow into it and see how it comes out. No saffron. Yeah, that's more about what we're looking for. You're curious about Bara's origin. The term Bara, which literally translates to rose in Japanese, has historically been used in Japan as a pejorative of gay men, roughly equivalent to the English language term pansy. Huh, I didn't know it had its origin in rose. Makes sense, I suppose. Obviously been changed over the years, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Definitely a different stereotype over there than over here. Thank you for looking that up for me. I appreciate the information. All right. Ow! Hey, welcome in, Raiders. That was that was a jump scare. Hey, Puka. Ow! I was distracted painting, and I just heard a and I went ah. How's it going tonight? How you doing? How was the Gorge? I watched you play it a little. I didn't get very far. I saw you making teenagers act like assholes. We were just about wrapping up with this barbarian dude. And then we were gonna do the yeah, we're just, so as far as painting goes, I unfortunately cannot finish Sexy Snake Lady tonight because I forgot her base. Also, I learned the trick of how to get this thing to actually focus on the minis up close. So I lost her base. I need to find it. I'm hoping it didn't get thrown out. Yeah, we didn't get to finish her. I wanted to finish her tonight, but I lost half of her, so I can't finish her. So we worked on Mr. Orc here. And he's pretty much done. I want to, I'm gonna try to touch up the hair again here. And get like a sickly shield thing going on. Sickly wood shield behind. And then we're gonna wash them here in a minute. And I just finished Mr. Barbarian here. And we're gonna wash them. I'm just gonna touch up his hair real quick. And I think I'm gonna use a different black here. That I know will, because I used carbon gray. And it kind of stuck, but it wasn't staying on the top. And that works in some circumstances, but I want his hair to kind of stand out a bit. I like the like frosted tip look I get sometimes by not being able to fully cover a thing in black. But with this guy, I'm particular going for like a, I feel like he's like a slick back. Despite being an orc, with the slick back hair, I feel like he's like kind of an 80s guy. You know, like a 80s business guy, and he's like, hey, why don't you work with the 3 Orc military company? We get the best out of your contracts, guaranteed. And so I want to get this kind of a little bit more covered on the top. No way, that wasn't working. With the other paint. And then we're gonna wash these two. And I don't know if I'm gonna work on another mini tonight. I might start on big lady here, because she's gonna be a multi-stream process. Frost Giantess. But I don't know. He is quite large. He is the largest. So when I didn't have any conception of how long, in fact, part of the reason I bought these minis as a Kickstarter was I was in my first campaign and I had no realistic interpretation of how long it would take my players to get to anywhere because I didn't have any experience. So I'm gonna do his eyebrows, so this is gonna take a focus here for a second. I focus. There we go. And I saw these Frost Giant ladies in their Kickstarter, and I said, I'm gonna have Frost Giants in my campaign, and it'll take them about a year to get to them. So then when I get the frost giants in, I'll be able to paint them and have these cool minis to bring out in front of them for when they fight the frost giants. Of course, they got to the frost giants in 6 months. And, sorry, I need to stop and listen to this track that gets stuck in my head every time. I'm in 0G and I feel fine. It can be in my head for days. So, and then these took 2 years to get to me or something ridiculous like that. All right. We got 3 minis that we're gonna do. Okay, and have fun. Tell the pupper. Hi dog. You're a dog. And enjoy your meal. And tell the pupper to enjoy its meal. Please don't eat yourself. So we got 3 minis. We'll be painting, we'll be washing here in a second. I'm gonna run downstairs real quick and grab another drink. You guys want anything? You guys want anything out of the fridge? I got sparkling water. I got different sparkling water. And I got Bud Light. I know, I'm sorry. I know you're disappointed in me. I'm making tea, so I'm good. But I'm on a diet, and so it's about the only beer I can drink sometimes. Alright, I will be right back. I am returned as destroyer of worlds and crusher of your souls. And more importantly, the haver of Bud Light. The most, the drink of the gods, right? When people think Bud Light, they think guy in his 40s who just went through a divorce and is living in a single apartment and complains way too much about Democrats for somebody who doesn't really get involved in the political process at all. But after that, they think of the gods. So, you know, sad old man. Well, sad middle-aged man. Gods. So, you know, I'm pretty sure people don't think of me as a sad middle-aged man. Continuing on. Alright, let's get ourselves a wash. So here's how washes work for the uninitiated. Just go ahead and here's what we're gonna do. And dab this up here. Give ourselves plenty of room. There we go. Put some... let's shake that up first then. You know, we're actually going to probably move to a fresh sheet of paper after this. Shake, 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 Sonora. Shake it all the time. Work, Sonora. Work your body line. Alright. Alright, so we got about 2 drops of pure black there. Oh, time to watch Beetlejuice now. Alright. And then where you're going to want to have some... We're basically just going to want to get water in there. It's just a crappy... No, that's not going to work. I mean, the ideal way to do this would be to have something like this and fill it. I think this was previously its own wash cup. I wonder if I can just... No, this doesn't have a squeeze top, so it doesn't matter. So the last time I did this, I just very slowly ripped it in there. This is not the yep, that's way too much. This is not the recommended method of making a wash. You're actually supposed to be very precise with it. Let's see. Let's use this to mix it up a bit, see how it's looking. I mean, that's not bad. We're just gonna wick this on him, see how it looks. Because he's the one I'm least worried about fucking up. Because I don't actually care that much about him. I have Wazoo angry looking elf guys. And you can see how it's that's kind of congealing in those like negative spaces. Let me see if I I'm trying to do it in a way that you can see it like at work. A little bit. Yeah, so you can see it kind of... Yeah, basically it's a cheap and quick way to do shading and shadow. Like, it's not going to produce as good a result as doing it by hand. But... if you're just looking for a quick turnaround, this is going to look pretty decent without taking a ton of time. Oh, fuck. Okay, I think I got it in time. I think I stripped off some of the original paint, but again, I'm not concerned as much about this guy. He's very much a vampire lord type. And I got like 50 of those. Alright. But I'm pretty happy about this. For the most part. Main thing is to try to keep it from like being too congealed in one place. So we're gonna do Orc Guy next. Yeah, you can see how. So you can see how flat that that silver is on the top versus once it gets into the pores in the middle there, it just suddenly pops a lot more because it's, you know, it's adding depth in a way a flat shade won't be able to do. I'm like, see, there's little holes on his helmet that makes it look like it was a full set helmet, but he can only wear it as a neck mask. And I didn't even see those while I was painting. That wasn't even visible until I, you know, put on the nobody cared about the holes until I put on the mask. I mean, until I put on the wash. The one issue though that washing can have that you won't have with other shading techniques is if you're not quick about spreading it and getting it in the right locations, it will congeal in the wrong locations and leave like big splotchy areas. Where you don't actually want them. And it'll look bad. Like on his face here, it wants to keep covering his face up. Don't actually want that. I kind of want to, in this case, kind of want to get it, let it kind of settle in this fairly more, because I want to add that darkness in there and get it to quite seep in and make it a little bit more rotted. So I'm going to be a little more liberal here. The darkness that dozes in the dusk, throw it all away. See a light wherever you go. You'll live an endless life forever.
Oh, darkness that dozes in the dusk. Do, 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 do. Throw it all away. Nobody can break. Nobody can tear you. So, I don't know if you can tell that much, but to me, the difference between how he looked before the the wash and after is like night and day. And I'll actually let's get this guy. Let you get a good look at him before we wash him. He's not good. He's not bad. He's got kind of flat colors, but you can tell what his deal is. Oh, I forgot to... Crap, I forgot this wood... Forgot to do his... wood on his weapons. Let's do those very quickly, so that we don't dry out. That's not dark enough. That'll work. Alright. Just a very speedy paint job here. Let's toss you in here for a second. Luckily, they're very small pieces, easily paintable. Should dry while we're doing the rest of those. Rest of stuff. All right. There we go. All right, we can bring you out again. Let's bring out our fresh sheet here of paper towel. That one's pretty done. And then once again, prior to shading or prior to washing, and then we can do a wash real quick. And we'll avoid the weapons for a sec at the moment. Let them set.
I wish I weren't clumsy. Wish I were taller. I wish I were a baller. Trying to think of a good joke. They didn't really have a big, long shelf life outside the 90s, to be honest. Alright, this still gonna take a minute to set, but look how significant that difference was. It went from being very flat to being very... I'm not sure what the word you would use, but very... porous. Very lifelike in a very short period of time. So yeah, that's why yacht washes are useful. They're very good for speed painting. Which is mostly what I do. I can't claim to do anything more than that because I lack the patience for anything else. I was gonna say I lack the skill, but no, it's just the patience. Alright, where did I put... Hold on while I find... Yep, the second parchment paper. Parchment paper. Oh, there we go. There's where you were hiding. Naughty thing. How could you go up and move to where exactly I put you? There we go. Got that good and firm on there. Get the moisture wicking through. And what do we want to do? We got Armor Lady. We got Slod. Got Minotaur in 3 pieces. And we got
big lady. Kind of want to do the slod, just because I want something as a change of pace. There's something different from what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of humanoids. And except for Sexy Snake Lady, which I really did actually want to finish tonight, but... So what color do we want to make this slod? I want to feel like I want to do green or blue, or red or blue. We don't have any red slots from the official stuff. Let's do fresh blood. I want an evocative red color for this guy. Because he has to be like, his skin has to be screaming, because he's a frog. He has to be screaming, danger, don't touch me. And we're definitely not going to be finishing this guy tonight. We're actually probably going to be wrapping up here fairly soon. But I wanted to at least get to the 3-hour mark. How's that red looking? There's definitely some like heraldry or something curling around. Probably just gonna paint it red for now and then put additional paint over it. I just don't feel like a gold or a most likely I'll be using a gold. I don't think that's gonna have a hard time peeking through red. We're covering red. I honestly don't know much about slots other than that they're chaotic evil and they come from the same plane as the it's the rise Yvonne. That's oh, what's its name? Limbo. They live in Limbo, and they were created by Primus fucking up and trying to make order in Limbo, and it created these monstrous things instead. But what I don't understand about Slot is, you know, like, I know they reproduce basically like aliens in Alien. They put a tadpole in you and then you explode. But like, other than having Slod babies, what do they want? Do they want wealth and power? Why? What's a Slod's motivation? What I'm wondering. I'm not. Because, like, they come out of primordial chaos. What's their history? What do they think about the world? Do they have a founding mythology for themselves that isn't about, you know, Primus? Because it's not like they're demons. Like, if they were demons, I'd be like, okay, they're, you know, almost Horus incarnate. And we don't have to think about it any further. Or devils to some degree. To a lesser degree. Or, yeah, we have to think a little bit about devils in D&D, but not as much. Whereas demons are just like, yeah, they're chaos incarnate. Okay, we get it. They're literally a expression of the planes. But Slods are not like that. They have an origin story. They have a creation myth. And they grew up in the mean streets of Limbo, so what do they think about that? I'm not sure if there's been any... I almost certainly somebody has probed this question, but I don't know what, if anything, the answers are. And again, considering some of D&D's literature, I might not want to know the answers. I don't know. I feel like there are two types of monsters. There's the ones that break the rules. They exist to break the rules. So you can't fight them by making rules about them. Because they'll break them. The rules, whatever you try to figure out how they work, it's going to fail. I feel like Freddy Krueger is a good example of this. He exists to break the rules. So the horror is not in... The horror is in the normal process of rationalization failing to protect you and provide you safety. Then there is the monster that has very defined rules so that you think you can beat it. But it is actually far more clever than you and knows its rules far better than you, and therefore is able to trick and defeat you, or is dangerous because of that, despite having rules. You think the rules make you safe, and then no, they turn around and turn the rules on you. The literal genie is a good example of this. Dracula is a good example of this. And slots definitely have rules. And they are definitely intelligent. But these rule-bound creatures generally have specific things that they want and have to bargain to some degree for. Because they're usually metaphors for, at least to some degree, or engaging in social situations where negotiation is important or struggle is important, and where if you struggle there's a potential for great loss, and sometimes you just don't even have any choice. So for instance, Dracula and the literal genie are both representations of the upper class. In particular, the literal genie has the power to grant you wealth and things like that. But ultimately has their own interest in making you suffer for their amusement, and therefore will twist whatever contracts you make with them to their own ends. Dracula wants the blood of innocent maidens because he's a representative of the... That's why you need a lawyer for dealing with a genie. Yeah. Well, that's also why you need a lawyer when dealing with contract law. You know? So, like, do sloths just want suffering? Do they get off on it? Then what separates them from a demon? Do they want chaos? Do they enjoy just seeing people unable? Like, what does a sloth eat? Because it's like they don't grow up in a place where, at least as far as my recollection of how limbo works, there is literally no ground unless you imagine the ground. And you gotta believe in the ground or else it disappears. And you fall and you die. Or else you fall into oblivion. I don't know. Limbo is a very interesting concept to me, but native creatures of limbo are very confusing to me, is what I'd say. And not clear on how they're supposed to work. So let's try to construct a Slod villain. So we know this guy is a Slod. He reproduces by implanting tadpoles. But, well, do Slod young spring forth fully formed from the head of Zeus? I don't think they do. I think there must be a period of trial rearing for the Slod, as any intelligent creature. So, in his hierarchy of needs, he has food, safety, things like that. So he would get those things. He'd build himself a little crazy island on Limbo. And he'd settle down and he said, well, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can sit here and make art, but there's nobody to see it. And maybe I want to have kids. But because he's an inherently predatory creature, he needs to go out and steal people to both make his kids, but also raise his kid. So what we're talking about is a slaver. And that's where we have, I think, our motivation and our logic behind the slots. They are a slaving species. In that respect, they're a little too close to the what are they? The mind flayers, illithids. I feel like, but honestly, lore-wise, they're kind of close to the illithid. Like in function, they breed and function the same way. Like, the illithids put a tadpole in your head. The slods put a tadpole in your head. Well, I think the slod put it anywhere in your body, but you know, same difference. So I don't really think I can be blamed for drawing the same conclusions as to what they're supposed to be doing and what they want. Anyways, I think we're good for tonight. We finished 2 and got a good start on 1 minis. That brings us to, let's see. Edit this text field. 7 out of 200. If I can actually edit it. There we go. 7 out of 200. Yeah, I mean, amazing progress. We're really moving right along. And let's go ahead and cut this music. We're gonna find somebody to raid if we can. In terms of next week's schedule, I won't be streaming Sunday or Monday. It will likely be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because Friday I will need to run. I will need to go up to the cabin I'm taking to go to meet my family. And then I will be returning Monday, the week after, and we will be doing our Halloween endurance stream, at least 8 hours. That'll be fun. Let me see if I can find somebody with raid. Sarah Lene raided us very recently. Yeah, thank you, Puka. So we're gonna return the favor, admittedly at a smaller portion than what we can possibly, what she brought to us, but I feel like I do owe her one for that. Go ahead and give her a ring. She was playing, I actually stopped by her stream a little bit earlier. She was playing a Wii Castlevania. It was a remake, or not a remake of a game for a Castlevania. So it was like everybody thought it was a remake, but it wasn't actually. Yeah, let's give her a ring. Alright. Oh, it looks like she's final boss. But we'll get to say hey. You're very welcome. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm glad you guys had fun. I look forward to having a good weekend, and I hope you all do as well. I will let you all know how the Call of Cthulhu game goes. I expect it will be a fun time. And I expect there to be much chaos that I did not anticipate. I wrote everything. Right, we should be heading over here in a minute. I would start the raid now, but I'm currently cleaning my brushes as soon as possible, so that I don't end up with crappy brushes like I have with a lot of brushes beforehand. Alright. Like we're just about out of here, so have a good night, everybody.